Okay, so so in this video we are going to install Windows Server 2022. As we have discussed in the previous video, we have made a this thing strategy for implementing or deploying a server, in which what are the required things we have discussed already. So two things we need to install. You have a server computer. So first one, most of the servers are used by installing hypervisors. So you need a hypervisor software. So in previous class we saw VMware, how to freely download VMware workstation of software. Okay, so just you have to this thing for lab practice. You have to download that one. And next one, the same Windows Server 2022 ISO image file you have to download from the same Microsoft website. How to download it, evaluation version. So you have showed just see to it and download it. So let's see, installing Windows Server 2022. So the process of installing this Windows Server 2022 can be relatively simple. It will be a very simple when you are performing a clean installation on a single new computer. Okay, so which we are going to see. This one is a single computer and a new computer, so installation is very easy. But it can also be extremely complex, extremely difficult when you are automating a mass deployment. Means huge number of servers or computers you have to deploy. That time mass deployment would be a very extreme work, complex work. Okay, so or migrating existing servers to the new operating system. Okay, so you will face lots of difficulties. So to install an ISO on a physical computer, you have to burn it to a removable disk. So here there are two methods of installing this OS, server OS. Directly you are installing on the server computer, or first one you have installed a hypervisor. Above hypervisor, you are creating a virtual machine in which you are going to install. So there are two methods, on physical computer and in a virtual machine. So if you are going to install this OS on a physical computer, so ISO file you have to burn in a removable disk, just like a pen drive or a DVD. You can do this on any other computer, okay, running Windows Server 2022 by selecting ISO file manager. So how you can burn? You can, if you have this thing Windows 2022 or Windows 10 or 11 operating system, okay, so go to file manager, select the ISO file, then go to just click on this disk image tool manage menu and click on burn button. So in such a way you can burn the ISO file into DVD or a pen drive. This is the method, okay, for a installation on a physical computer. But if you are installing Windows Server 2022 on a virtual machine, okay, either on a Hyper-V or a VMware, you can use the ISO file directly. How to use? We are going to see this thing because this is the mostly used option. So when you create a virtual machine, you can specify the ISO as you configure the virtual DVD drive. When you start the VM, the ISO appears as the function and the function as a bootable disk on the system. Okay, once you have a bootable disk, you can perform clean installation of Windows Server 2022 on a physical machine or a virtual machine using the following procedure. Okay, so what is the procedure? Turn on the computer or turn on the virtual machine, and okay, already you have inserted this thing. So before turning on the virtual machine or this one, uh, in physical computer, first one you have to insert a Windows Server 2022 flash drive or DVD drive, first one. And next one, or in a virtual machine, you have to configure your virtual drive with ISO file. So after this one, you have to turn on the computer or virtual machine and press any key. Okay, so it will ask press any key to boot from CD DVD. So when this message will appear, you have to just press that one. Okay, so So just see over here, I am on a VMware workstation software. This software I have installed on my Windows 11 computer. Okay, so in previous video I have showed you how to download this one and install this one. Okay, so you can see over here you need these two setup files. VMware, just install it in your whatever Windows 10 or 11 machine. After installation, this particular window will appear. So here you have to create a virtual machine first, and in this virtual machine you have to attach this thing, ISO file. Okay, so let's create a virtual machine first. So to create a virtual machine, either you can click on this option or right click here, so you will get the same new virtual machine creation. Okay, option. So click on this, select recommended option. I'm using this option. Okay, this is a separate study, so I will not, okay, discuss anything of this one. So select this option, but here virtual machine name you have to type. This name will appear here. By this name we can see this virtual machine over here, and here you have to choose a location where the files of this virtual machine should be located. You have to select. For example, I've selected C drive. So in your computer, which drive you are dedicating for this particular virtual machine, just select it. So I'm selecting C drive. In under C drive, I have created a folder by the name VM virtual machine. I'm going to create a subfolder under this one. So by the same, the name of the virtual machine GUI. Okay, click on OK. Next. So disk space automatically allotted is 60 GB. Okay, it is more than minimum requirement, that is 32 GB. It's okay for now. Just click on next and finish. But in real time, for a server, the disk space would be in a terabytes. Okay, so now this is the configuration, okay, of this virtual machine. If you have to edit it, just click on this option, edit virtual machine setting. So RAM, that is memory, 2 GB is enough. It is meeting the minimum hardware requirement. Okay, next one, two virtual servers. Okay, cores, it is okay. Hard drive 60 GB, it is also okay. So you have to configure this one, CD DVD. Okay, so it is auto detect. This option is selected. Just click on use ISO image file, browse. So already we have downloaded. Where it is in a download folder. Just here. It is the Windows Server 2022 server ISO image file. Just click on open, and network adapter, I would select bridge option. Okay, click on OK. So now my virtual machine is totally ready. So what we have to do in the same way, if you have if you are going to install a this Windows Server 2022 operating system in a physical computer, you have to make a bootable pen drive and insert it. Okay, insert it in the USB port of your computer. After this one, you have to turn on that computer. So in the same way, I am turning on or powering on this virtual machine. So after this one, whatever is going to happen, the same thing will be in your physical computer. Okay, so just click on power on virtual machine. So just here, press any key to boot from CD DVD. So I pressed the key. So now the files are getting loaded. OS files. So the first screen is this one. Okay, so it is asking in which language you want to install. So here automatically English United States is selected. I'm okay with this option. Next one, time and currency. So whatever the machine is located in which area, just you have to select. For example, this machine is in India. Okay, I would select English India. Okay, keyboard input method, automatically it has become a English India. It's okay. Click on next, and here, okay, so To install this OS, just click on this button, install now. Setup is starting. So it will ask few questions afterwards in this one. So you have to provide the uh, appropriate answers which meets your requirement. For example, the first question is select the operating system you want to install. So here there are two editions available in this ISO image, data center and standard. So I want data center. Okay. And in this one, installation method, desktop experience and core, it is showing blank means core. So I have selected desktop experience. So regarding this, there is a description. There is a description here. This option installs the full Windows graphical environment. If you select this one, it will install graphical environment of Windows operating system. Okay, but it will consume extra drive space because it includes what a graphics. So it can be useful if you want to use the Windows desktop or have an app that requires it. Okay, whatever it may be. So we are going to see the installation of GUI, that is desktop experience of 2022, and in entire course we are going to use data center edition, which is the highest version. Okay, highest edition. So select, after selecting, click on next. So you have to accept the Microsoft software license. You can read this here by scrolling down. And next, here there are two options. It is asking which type of installation do you want. First option is upgrade, second option is custom. Upgrade means this physical machine or virtual machine is already is installed with one operating system. For example, previous operating system Windows Server 2019, and you have to change it with 2022, and you don't want to affect files, settings, application, whatever present in it. So that time you have to choose this option. So you have to insert media file of 2022, and after this one, when you click on upgrade method na, upgrade option na, so what will happen, only the operating system will be upgraded from 2019 to 2022, and it will not affect your files, settings, application which are present in the previous. Okay, so that time you have to select this option. If your computer is new, or you don't want the previous operating system, you want a clean installation. Okay, so that time you have to select a custom. Okay, keep in mind, if already there is operating system, if you select custom, so previously whatever is present in your operating system, all things will be deleted. So it's a new virtual machine or physical machine, that's why I'm selecting custom option. After this one, it is saying, okay, where do you want to install the operating system? It is showing the drives. Okay, so only one drive of 60 GB is attached to this virtual machine. In maybe in your company, something around 2 terabyte or some more this thing disk space drive is attached, and same size, okay, will appear here. So if you are okay with it, if you want entire disk space to be as a one drive for this operating system, you can select this one, click on next. Otherwise, just like in your computer, normal desktop or laptop, if there is a 1 terabyte of a hard drive and you don't want the entire this thing disk space should be a one partition, and you have to make a more number of partition, that time just select the unallocated space and click on new. So after click on new, entire disk space is sizes appear. So how much you have to allocate for this particular first partition, just type that one. For example, 10,000 MB I'm selecting for the first partition. When you click on apply, you can see over here the partition. Okay, some associated partition, small partition of 95 and 16 MB is created automatically. So this one is our partition which we have created. It is saying okay, something around 9.7 GB. Okay, so in the same way, and here unallocated space is there. Okay, so you can create further more partition into it. How? The selected, click on new, same thing. For example, you need a next one 20 GB of a partition. So you can see here 19.5 GB next partition is created. So this you can do in your normal machine or if the company is required. Otherwise, it's a server computer. So server computer, which is to provide the service or to manage other computers. So this server OS is will be having a huge database. So it need a very big space, disk space. So I'm selecting entire space and click on next. So in this particular screen, it is showing so many things, installing features, installing update, finishing up. So when it will be completed, the setup will restart the machine. After restart, okay, so the OS will completely be installed. Okay, so as you can see, the setup has restarted this virtual machine and it is getting ready. Okay, so installation is completed and it is showing a customize your the settings and it is saying a type of password for your built-in administrator account. So by default, one user account will be present in your this thing OS. So here its name is administrator and you have to configure a password for it. And for a strong password, you know this thing a minimum level 9 characters should be present in your password, including small number, small case alphabet, uppercase alphabet, numbers, and symbols. So I'm going to use 9 characters, okay, in such a way. You can see over here, this is my password of 9 characters, repeating the same and click on finish. So it will show you the lock screen. So it's a logon screen or lock screen of your server operating system. Here it is asking controller delete every time when you log in. So you have to first press Control Alt delete. So your username will be appeared or you have to type the username and type the password. Then only you will be able to log in and use this computer. So it is showing the desktop. And one more thing, as server OS is installed, okay, so automatically one window will be appeared and its name is server manager. And server manager is a tool, useful tool, very useful tool. It will provide facilities of lots of things like adding roles, features, so many things we are going to learn in entire MCSA course. So here you can see this is the dashboard. Local server means the local server information which OS is installed, hardware configuration you can see over here. Okay, and this one. Okay, after installation of any type of operating system, either it is a server operating system or a client operating system in your this thing corporate. So next one thing you have to do. What is it? You have to do next thing, that is a post installation task. It is a must one. Okay. So post installation task include configure IP address. Next one, changing the computer name and the firewall. So let's see what is it. So first one, I'm going to change the IP address. So click on local server here. it is showing the Ethernet, that is a network adapter. How many network adapters are attached to your computer here? Okay, it will show. So click on the link network adapter. So go to the properties by double clicking and click on the properties. So you know this thing here, what is IP address? It is the identifier of every computer in a local area network in your internet also. Okay, so without this address, computer cannot communicate with each other. Okay, and in this IP address there are two schemes, IPv4 and IPv6. IPv4 is used mostly in local area network, IPv6 nowadays in entirely internet. Okay, so you have to configure this this IP address. Okay, so this is the identification of this computer into the network. To configure, just select the particular one, IPv4, and click on properties. Here you are getting two options. Obtain IP address automatically. This is the by default option. So what it is saying, okay, whenever this machine is installed with operating system, if you're connecting it to the internet or a local area network. So in internet, obviously there is a by default service, okay, which will provide IP address to your computer. Okay, so that time this option should be selected, present in your computer. That time only your computer will be able to connect to the internet. In local area network, if there is a service known as a DHCP, on which we are going to learn entirely in the same topic, DHCP. Okay, it is a service. It will provide the IP address to this computer. But in the case of a server computer, it is going to be a server computer. So always server computers are assigned static or manual IP addresses. Static or manual means you have to configure the IP address. You have to decide what would be the IP address of this machine. Why? Because when you select this option, and in local area network, DHCP server is providing the IP address to this machine. So it will be changed in lots of situation. For example, this machine is getting restarted or it is off when it will just comes up into the network. So that time it will ask for the IP address because it has lost the previous IP address when it was turned off. Okay, so it will ask for the IP address. That time DHCP server will provide a different IP address. Obviously, surely it will be a different IP address. It is not like this one. Every time the same IP address will be assigned to the same machine. That's why for a server computer, in case of server computer, you should assign the IP address this thing statically, manually. So click on this option, use the following IP address. So I'm going to assign IP address. So regarding what is IP address in further classes, you can say I'm going to make videos on networking, computer networking. Okay, so I will share the link in this video afterwards. So just follow that link and get the information about the IP address. So in this is one type of IP address. When you click on tab button, automatically subnet mask is selected by the computer. Okay, so what is subnet mask? Default gateway is the address of a router in your this thing. Okay, organization. And DNS is a must required service of local area network. If the server is present, its IP address you have to type here. As of now, I'm only just typing the IP address of this computer. Automatically, subnet mask has been generated. So click on OK. So the first thing we have completed of post installation task, we have configured the IP address. Okay. After this one, you have to change the name. So before this one, I'm configuring its security. That is a Microsoft Windows firewall in such a way that there are three type of security: domain network, private network, public network. I'm turning it off. As per the requirement of your organization, you may use it. Okay, for the current lab. Okay, so I'm just turning off it. I don't need these options anymore. So I'm turning it off. So just show here. And next one, Internet Explorer. Okay, enhance security configuration also. Just timing, I am turning off. Okay, you can see over here when I refresh, this is a refresh button. So you can see over here, these all settings are off. After this one, finally, we have to change the name, computer name. So by this name, okay, how to change? Click on this particular window will appear. Here you have to select computer name tab. Here it is written to rename this computer or change its domain or workgroup, click on change. Okay, so click on change. In computer names, some computer automatically generated name is appeared. So I'm going to name this computer as a DC domain controller, because this is a server computer, and in further classes we are going to see how to make a domain controller machine. It is a machine through which you can control your entire company, machines and users. Okay, it is a very powerful, you can say, profile machine DC. So I am naming after this computer as DC. So after this one, just click on OK. So it is saying you must restart your computer to apply these changes. Before, okay, restarting, save any open files. You know this thing, if any open files and you have not saved it, and if your machine restart, so whatever the things are, it will be deleted. Okay, so click on OK, close, restart now. Okay, machine is restarted. Press correct Control R delete and type the administrator password for login. Server manager, click on local server. You may see here, okay, the computer name is now DC. Okay, by this name, this machine can be accessed. Okay, services of this machine can be accessed by other machines or this machine. Okay, so that's it for in this video. I hope you understood and liked it. So if you like, so subscribe and refer to your friends to watch this particular one. Thank you.